Urban Keith run the world.
What's going on, everybody? Sunday, February 13th, 2022. I'm here with Mr. Armah Shiancoe. It's Dumkele Idehen here. And today we're going to kick off a new series, a podcast. We're calling it Keys to Success. In this first episode, we're going to be talking about self-motivation and persistency and how acquiring self-motivation at such a young age can help you project future successes towards your later life. Starting now, start building now so that when you're older, you already have all the framework and all the tools you need to be successful. So let's just dive right in. Let's do it.
So Dunk, this is truly an honor, and I'm super excited about this journey right here because I feel like there's so many gems that are coming, not just from me, but from you directly, because there's so many young people out here who need to hear from other young people like themselves who are doing things that they can be inspired by because they can also do the same. So this really excites me because I don't know how much you remember of us meeting, but it was through David. David was in a class that I subbed when I first decided to become a teacher before I even accepted any teaching positions. David had a class that I was substitute teaching in, and he just said to me, "Mr. Shiancoe, I need to introduce you to Dumkele. You have to meet Dumkele." And he kept saying that pretty much the entire class period.
Who's this kid you talking about?
I'm like, who's this Dumkele guy? Who's this kid? Who's this kid? And he brought you to me at the end of the day before I left the school. And that's initially how we met. And since then, I've been watching and just seeing how you move. And it really has been something that I've been super proud of because you're a man of few words, but yet your actions speak so loudly. And I've been able to watch you not only grow through the middle school side of it, but you came over to the high school once I became a teacher there. And I honestly chose to become a teacher at this high school because I knew you all would come through there. And that's what's interesting about this. I was offered even a middle school position, but I said to myself, if I take this, I'm catching them at the tail end of them being here.
Yeah.
So why don't I actually go to the high school
and follow them?
and they'll come through there.
You feel me?
And they're going to have to come through there anyway. So fortunately, I came through the high school sector. You all came over a year or two later, or a year later, when I was officially a high school teacher teaching business. And I've been in the same building with you for 4 years now, man. And you're now getting ready to exit as a graduate who's now also accepted a full ride to do what you love, to be an athlete. But first and foremost, I don't want people to ever sleep on your level of intelligence and your ability to will your way in and through things to manifest things that you've set out for yourself in the form of goals and any and everything that you feel is yours. So I commend you, young brother.
Appreciate that. I will go to God, but most definitely you as well. Appreciate, even since middle school, man, you've been dropping gems on us since middle school, man. The 1 or 2 days that you substitute, it's like, oh, is Miss Siancoe subbing today? Everybody, you feel me? Oh, Miss Siancoe the sub today. Everybody, excited to go to third block. And so, even the little stuff, we ain't doing no work. We were just talking. We ain't doing no work. The whole time we were just talking about life. Man, in the 8th grade, we 13-year-olds talking about starting business just because you planted those gems early. And then you followed us to high school. Man, you was always that teacher around. I ain't having class with you until I ain't having class with you at all. I still haven't had a class with you at all. But I always kick it with you in the hallway. Yeah. I always stop by your class at lunch. And it's like, even those little, 30, 45 minutes that we chopped it, it's like, it's this lifelong connections. You always motivated me to be like an example in school, even, based on my skin color, based on my ethnicity. I can't be another statistic. I got to grow out and then step outside the box and then be an example for the people that look to me and can see Dumkele that he's doing it, and so I can do it too. And you always motivated me to do that. And you were that motivation to me, and I'm just passing the baton to people behind me. So it's just an endless chain. And so we're just trying to keep the chain going.
That's it, man. And we're gonna keep doing that. Now we have technology and platforms like this that allow us to project that message even further, because it's not even just about the things that we're saying or just the speaking side of this stuff. This is based on real life.
Mm-hmm.
This is based on hardcore evidence. I've watched you grow up over the past 4 years, man, and you've really turned into someone that not only I thought was there or knew was there, but you even exceeded my expectations, man. Mm-hmm. Because I've watched so many young people your age that say they want to do certain things and they have these goals to do certain things, but that's just a wish because they have nothing that's actually solid or a plan, and they don't commit to much of anything. And here you are, you've dominated in every arena, young gladiator. From the classroom to the football field to any and everything you've touched, including the urban keys, my man.
Urban keys run the world.
That's it. Even in that, man, I'm watching you just really put a level of energy towards your own personal goals and aspirations in ways that I think that many more of you need to be hearing from you, because you not only can say this is what you need to do, your life has been a living, breathing example and walking testimony of it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And you're living the things that you've set out for yourself, including now about to go off to college without having to come out of your pocket a single cent.
$0.00.
$0.00. Please remind the folks how much?
$0.00, and then I'm gonna get some back end too.
Woo!
If you play your cards right, really, hey, this is just a pro tip. If you play your cards right, you get a scholarship. You can still apply for many more scholarships. That's back end money coming in your pocket. So really, I'm getting paid to go to school instead of paying to go to school.
And let me hear that one more time. You getting what now?
You getting paid to go to school. I'm getting paid to go to school. So
that's right.
That's what it is.
That's right. And I love it. I love it because I say that to young people and they look at me like I'm a deer with horns coming out
with 5 heads.
With 5 heads. And to hear you say it, it brings joy to my heart, man, because now you're walking living proof of it. That you don't just take just what you're given.
Oh yeah.
You go out there and you get more because there's more out there.
So much out there.
It's just a matter of whether you want to put in that work, though.
They really want to put in the work. And that's what really we're going to dive in today. We're really going to talk about, self-motivation and persistency. How do you motivate yourself to do the things that you want to do?
So my main man, Dunk, as we now tap in, you bring up very, very valid and solid things that young people need to be very, very aware of and know that this is real. Consistency and what?
Self-motivation.
Ooh.
And also persistency.
And persistence.
All in the same bubble, all in the same cloud.
So talk to them, Dunk. What are your thoughts around this, and why do you feel this is one of some of the important pieces in terms of the keys to the success?
Man, really, like I said, all these, the 3 factors that we listed, they all go hand in hand. You can't have self-motivation without persistency. You can't be persistent without being consistent. So really, like, self-motivation, it's like the desire to do something for oneself without, having that person push you. It comes from your own enthusiasm, your own passion. So developing self-motivation is a skill that you have to develop by yourself. You can't teach it in the classroom. You can't learn it from your parents. It has to be within you. You have to have the motivation to do what you want to do by yourself, hence the word self. And, consistency, man. Keys to success, like, this is like basic. You got to be consistent in what you do. You got to do what you do every day, or whatever the schedule is that you develop a schedule and stick to it, which is twice a week, 2 times a week, once a month. But you got to be consistent. You can't be flawed in the schedule if you expect to be successful. You got to keep repeating and keep doing. Do it, dry it off, and then rerun it. And then, persistency goes hand in hand with consistency, because you got to be consistent. You got to be persistent in the consistency when things don't look like it's happening the way you should. Because, when you try to do things in life that are big, big things don't come, in a week. You feel me?
Talk to them.
Big things don't come in a week, and it might even take years to develop what you want to do. But you got to be persistent. You got to have that passion for what you do, and you got to grind through it even when it don't look like it's working out the way you thought it would, and things aren't aligned like you thought it would. But you got to have that self-motivation and passion that drives you, because you have the end goal in mind. You just got to push aside the factors that you see right now, the things that you think think they're happening, and then just push it aside and keep the end goal in mind. Just keep pushing and keep pushing and just keep pushing, and eventually the end goal will stare you right in the face one day.
And then it happens, because I'm glad you're hitting on these points, man, because people talk about motivation, and I'm all for it. We all need it. We all must have it, and use it to the best of our ability. But motivation is a tricky thing, because people act like motivation can just be picked up from anywhere, when it's all inside of you.
Yeah.
Which is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's more of a light switch, where you get to pick and choose when you're motivated versus when you feel like you're lacking it or it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
That's an internal choice.
Yeah.
Right? That's different from inspiration,
mm-hmm.
which can be something that comes from anywhere.
Yeah, you can get inspiration from just looking at, a TV show and then just get inspired. Oh, you watch the TV show. Oh, maybe I want to do that. But self-motivation, you got to come from inside you, dog. Like, it got to be like, I want to do this because this is what I want, not because I saw my boy doing it and my boy motivated me. Like you said, that's inspiration. Inspiration comes from external, and then self-motivation is internal.
There you have it. There you have it. So, folks, there has to be a level of understanding to differentiate between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Inspiration is very important, and we can all capture it from anywhere. We can go on a walk and be inspired.
Yeah.
Right? We can take a trip down whatever road, just driving for the next 30 minutes and be inspired by something that we capture mm-hmm. on that drive and on that journey. Motivation, on the other hand, that's something that can only come from within. I am a strong believer in that, because even when I hear people call themselves motivational speakers, no knock to them, mm-hmm. but in my mind, I'm looking at them and saying to myself, regardless of how good you are, it's rare that you're going to be able to motivate me if I don't want to be motivated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I will take some inspirations from you.
Uh-huh.
I will take many inspirations from you, because you are really having me tap into things mm-hmm. or even think about things in ways that I haven't really thought about it yet. Mm-hmm. So that I'll take all day long. And I'm all about the inspiration mm-hmm. because I love being inspired. Even as you all came through the high school, man, I've been so inspired by just seeing your growth from a day-to-day standpoint.
Yeah.
From a year-to-year standpoint. You guys are about to graduate. When I started teaching, you all were coming in as freshmen. And now you all are exiting as seniors.
Crazy.
The level of growth that transforms and that happens and transforms, it's all a matter of what happens within you guys and you gals. Because I've watched a lot of you grow up in ways that really has not only, I would say, surprised me, not in a negative way at all.
Yeah.
It's really exceeded what I thought, because you come in, especially when you teach, all you hear about is the behavioral issues. People are scared of y'all. People feel like these kids are just so scary, and all you have to think about is how you prepare for their behavioral issues, when in my mind I'm like, you only have behavioral issues if you cause it.
Yeah. You're like, what you talking about in the classroom?
That's it. The only way you have behavioral issues is if you go looking for it. Mm-hmm. And if that's the focus of what it is that you're trying to pinpoint or pay attention to. Mm-hmm. To me, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I was out there looking for the miracles in y'all.
Yeah.
I was expecting that on any given day, I would see something that would blow my mind based on how much greatness lies in y'all. Mm-hmm. And it never failed. Because of what I asked for and what I was looking for and checking for, y'all gave me just that. Mm-hmm. As opposed to the folks who were afraid and were only concerned with behavioral issues, they consistently dealt with behavioral issues.
That was their niche.
That was it. And here we were enjoying the environment, the classroom, the discussions, and all of the many things that have now led to a lot of young people saying that, hey, I either wish I had taken your class, or I'm glad I took your class because it's helped transform my perspective. Yeah. And it's helped me now change up the way that I think, the way that I behave. And I'm seeing that my results based on those things are now truly what I want it to be, and that's positive. Mm-hmm. And rewarding and fulfilling.
Yeah.
but it's all because of what they've chosen to do, not what I've done. All I did was just spark the light and show it down the path of what's possible.
Show it down the tunnel.
That's it.
Look, there's a tunnel.
There's the tunnel.
If you want to walk down it, go ahead. If
you can definitely walk through it.
If you don't, that's you.
It's going to be dark. It's going to be cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come with many things you weren't expecting that will shake your spirit up.
Yeah, but check this.
Challenge you.
As you got the torch in your hand, you can only see so much light around you.
Ooh.
Once you got the torch in your hand, you can only see so much light around you. There's a certain vicinity that the fire lights to. You can't see the end of the tunnel from where you're standing in the tunnel.
Talk to him.
You can see the light where you're in, like your circumference, about like a little range. You feel me? A little range.
My man said circumference. Y'all heard that? And y'all say these young bulls aren't learning anything in math class.
But like, if you try to look too far down the tunnel, you can get scared. You can get anxious because it looks so dark and looks so cold. But you just focus, on your own span, your own width. Don't try to look too far down. Don't even try to look behind you. Just look where you're at right now. And just keep walking down the tunnel, and as you walk, the light's gonna follow you.
Man, Dunk, I don't even want to follow that one. We gonna close out this one right.
Let's get it
here. I will not even touch that one or play myself to even attempt to try to add anything else to that. But I really do want to thank everybody for joining us for this first episode. We hope you found value or caught some value through the gems that were shared here today. Do us a huge favor, share with everybody that you know needs to hear this, not just from a student perspective, but even parent perspective, because there are a lot of things in these conversations that will continue to happen, and we will continue to share, and it should be beneficial to all. We welcome you for our next episode, and that will be coming out very shortly. But we definitely appreciate you joining us for the ride, and make it a great day.